There are two very simple anecdotes. The first is that about the priest who had a very large parish. But one day he went to his bishop and he was complaining bitterly. He said, "On Sunday, my church is filled with women, but the men do not come because they spend their weekends at night staying up and playing cards and drinking so that they're too hungover to come to church on Sundays." And the bishop responded to him, "Don't you have faith, my son? Don't you realize that these men are practicing staying up all night, vigilant and focused, and also surrendering to the effects of the alcohol, the ingredients that are necessary? Can you imagine what enlightened beings they will be when their moment of transformation arrives?" Then there's a story about a man called Thanaga. Now, Thanaga was born into the low caste of an Indian family, but his family had aspirations for him that somehow he would redeem their caste and their families. But quite to the contrary, it was found that the accumulated karma of past lives had ripened in him, and instead of giving him aspirations to better himself, he became a ne'er-do-well. But he did have one talent, and that was his ability to lie. He lied about absolutely everything. He could bring the birds down from the trees with his rhetoric. He could con an old woman out of her last piece of fruit in the marketplace or her last coin. And this is how he lived his life. But one day he was sitting under a tree when a monk came along, and the monk came over and greeted him with salutations and said, "My son, you're in deep contemplation. What is it you're contemplating about?" And the Naga said, "Oh, Reverend Sir, it's a deep subject." And the monk said to him rather pointedly, "You're going to tell me a lie, aren't you?" And the Naga said, "Yes, I know nothing else. All I know is how to lie. I do not know what truth is." The monk said to him, "Don't you know that this is karma, and karma is bitter? Don't you know that it can put a coating on your tongue? Don't you know it can make your body smell? Don't you know that its accumulation will send you to the nether worlds at the end of your life?" And these words seemed to penetrate deeply into Thanaga, and he said, I never thought about Karma, in this way before Reverend Sir, can you help me? What can I do about this? And the monk said, well, karma becomes ripe. And perhaps this is a ripe moment for you. Would you like me to give you initiation? Oh, said the Naga, yes, please, I will do whatever it is that is necessary. And the monk in that moment gave him the initiation that is called removing water from the ear with water. Not only that, but the monk gave him empowerment and instructions on how, when being in a place where he had no need to even seek truth, knowing only the lies, that he could take this and see where it led for him. And indeed, when the Naga practiced looking at all of life in its transience, in its passing realities that became soon unrealities, he was able to move into that blessed state which saw in and beyond life and its sensory experience, the intrinsic emptiness of all, moving beyond even one-pointedness, the illusory nature of existence itself. He was able to be embraced by and embrace that which is beyond all endeavors. He became known as the master of the lie and did good works for the remainder of his days. So the question that arises for us from these anecdotes is, what has it been in our life that has been what we have considered to be a vice, a fault, an impediment that we find has been all along that which has allowed us to arrive at the moment of ripeness, the moment of transformation, the moment of flipping. Was it our stubbornness? What has it been for us? That we considered something that had to be addressed, karmic perhaps, rising above an abusive childhood. What is it for us that we can now consider to be the blessing or the grace that brought us to transformation and awareness? What is it that's still present in our life that was considered a vice before and now is the staff that we carry? What is it for you? We have it. What is it? What is it that we can hold up to the world that does not allow us to be caught in the ever-changing realities? What is your stuff? Once considered a fault, but now recognized for what it is and was.
Well, that